Hello everybody, today's June 6, 2012. For the first 4 months of 2012, gold imports through Hong Kong into mainland China are up 782% over the first 4 months of 2011. There was 239 metric tons imported in through Hong Kong the first 4 months of this year, and 27 metric tons the first 4 months of last year. This comes from the Census and Statistics Department of the Hong Kong government. Now, the World Gold Council tracks the amount of gold held by central bank of each country, and China does not publicize those numbers. The last time we heard from China was June 30th, 2009. They said they had 1,054 tons. Now, with the amount of gold that's been going into that country, and the fact that they produce the most gold in the world, 355 tons last year, the largest gold producer in the world, and it's illegal to export gold out of China, and we got all the huge amount of gold coming into mainland China through Hong Kong, and who knows how much more gold coming into China. I'd be willing to bet that if they come out soon, hopefully, and tell us the new number, I'm saying in the range of 2,500 to 3,000 tons by now. I mean, there's huge demand for gold in China. And I'm going to link up an article from the Wall Street Journal that about 3 weeks ago saying that China has now passed India as the largest gold consumer in the world. So the largest producer, largest consumer. I mean, it pisses me off when I think what's happening here in the United States where I'm at. I mean, we got this little guy sitting back there with a printing press, just printing out the paper crap. And here we have over there in China, they're encouraging their citizens to buy gold and silver. They're consuming, I mean, they're importing the most amount of silver. They're producing gold. They're producing the most amount of gold. It's just, they're building up an empire, and here we are printing up paper crap, and we haven't had an audit in 50 years of our big, huge 8,000 ton gold supply. I mean, we had some hokey audit like in the 70s. A couple congressmen went way down in a bunch of elevators down in the bowels of the earth at Fort Knox and taken in there and handed one gold bar, and they said, they're not allowed to see all the gold. They're just handed one gold bar and said, here's the whole stock of the United States gold. Oh, okay. And that's it. That's what we get. I mean, we need to be shown our gold. It was stolen from us in 1933. We need to know the gold that we have. Personally, let me tell you, I don't own a lot of gold. I own a lot more silver because I feel that silver is good, better opportunity. Going to rise at a higher percentage over gold. Now, part of that is also because gold's expensive. Now, I could take all my silver and trade it in and get a bunch of gold ounces, but I don't think that'd be beneficial for me and my family. So, I have a little bit of gold, mainly silver, but where gold goes, silver's going to follow. And there's just huge demand coming out of China. Now, you hear these, if you turn on CNBC, Fast Money, and these other financial shows, all you hear is gold's in a bubble. You've been hearing that year after year. Gold went from $700 up to $800 an ounce. Oh, gold's in a bubble. Going to go down. Goes up to 900,000. All along, you've been hearing gold's in a bubble. Now, right now, gold's in a bubble. What freaking bubble? There's huge demand for physical gold. This is not like the housing bubble where, prices are just doubling and people can't really afford them, and everybody in their hairdressers flipping homes. Who's buying gold? These people, gold's in a bubble. I remember watching Peter Schiff. He was on there and some guy was saying gold's in a bubble, and Peter's like, how much do you own? And he's like, oh, I don't own any. Yeah, you and most Americans don't own any. Where's this damn bubble? There's no stupid bubble for gold. Gold is in a long-term bull market, and it's going a lot higher. So, it has to compensate for all the paper nothings that have been printed up. And I want to give you the real reason why I'm so passionate about gold and silver and sound money. It's not to become rich. I'm not doing this. I mean, yeah, I like to play around with mining stocks, and I've always been into investing and stuff like that, but there's a true reason why I am so passionate about this, and I feel that it's so important. Let me read you something real quick. Maybe you can try and guess what it's from while I'm reading it. This is the real reason I'm so passionate. Is there a connection between human freedom and a gold redeemable money? At first glance, it would seem that money belongs to the world economics and human freedom to the political sphere. But when you recall that one of the first moves by Lenin, Mussolini, and Hitler was to outlaw individual ownership of gold, you begin to sense that there may be some connection between money, redeemable in gold, and the rare prize known as human liberty. Unless you are willing to surrender your children and your country to galloping inflation, war, and slavery, then this cause demands your support. For if human liberty is to survive in America, we must win the battle to restore honest money. Anyone who hasn't read Howard Buffett, U.S. Congressman from Nebraska, 1948 speech, Human Freedom Rests on Gold Redeemable Money. It's a must-read. The funny thing is, this happens to be one of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett's father. So I guess sometimes the apple does fall far from the tree, because maybe Warren believes this stuff, just would never talk about it, because it's not going to help his company for you to buy a bunch of gold. So one last thing I want to talk about. In my last video, I had a bunch of comments. I read all the comments, by the way. Everybody who comments on videos, I read all the comments. But I don't always have enough time with, my job, family, the commute, everything, to reply to all the comments. I mean, a lot of time I just see them in my email, and I don't have access to YouTube. So I don't know. I can't always reply to all the comments. I just wanted to apologize to the people who think I'm just blowing you off. I read all the comments. I don't know if I'm going to have time to put links to that last video. If you Google any of the titles of any of those articles, if you just type the title into Google, tons of articles will come up. I mean, you can find them yourself. I'll still try and do that, but I don't know how I'm going to notify people, maybe through a video that I did it. But anyway, that's it for today. I had some other information. Maybe I'll do another video. I wanted to talk about what's going on in Turkey. There's huge imports, up 150% in Turkey. And all that's going into Iran. Like 95% of it's going into Iran. So there's huge demand there as well. There's just huge demand all over the place. All this bubble talk is so ridiculous. So anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.